Hey everyone, welcome to Gear Facts. We are back again with a really exciting retro review. It's the Roland EG-101 GrooveKeyboard, a really fun and comprehensive keyboard that is trying to bridge the gap between home synthesizer and real pro instrument. It's a jack of all trades. It really has a little bit of everything. A sampler, sequencer, D-beam controller there, a whole lot of knob controls, a whole lot of rhythm controls, and various clever different ways of making music. So let's get straight in and have a listen to some of the sounds of the Roland EG-101. I won't be able to go through all of them in detail right now, but let's have a listen to some of these sounds. Yep, I know that's nothing amazing, but it's a good place to start to show you how some of these controls work. Let's switch over to the knobs here. So cutoff and resonance there. Then we can change our reverb time. And there's a second line of control when it comes to these dials as well. This time we've got volume of the particular sound. So as you change the volume, all the rhythm and sampling will all stay the same. We can pan from left to right using the next one. Obviously you won't pick that up on your computer right now, but for me these big loud speakers are panning that quite clearly from left to right. Actually I shouldn't say big speakers, they're not huge, but they are amazingly loud for their size. And the last effect is reverb level. So I've got reverb time as well as reverb level, so you could set both of those to maximum. And you end up with a very, very deep reverby sound. I skipped over one function too, and that is the arpeggiator. It's just a one-touch thing and it's on. Now there's a special trick to this arpeggiator too. You can switch between the different parameters of the arpeggiator here, but to change those parameters, what you have to do is hold down this button and press your up and down values here. So if you've bought one of these secondhand and you've got no manual with it, that's how you change the values relating to the arpeggiator. So for the range, for example, I hold down that one and I can set the range up to anything to 3 octaves. Or I can go down to just 1 octave. Let's go somewhere in the middle to 2 octaves, and a quick press will send us on to grid, which will change the rapidity of the notes within the sequence. So holding down the button again, we'll choose from any of 6 different grids. So a very shuffly one there, more staccato one, a slower staggered one, so as you can see they're all pretty simple arpeggiator types and they're all dependent on the tempo that you use. So let's just play a chord here and change the tempo. So a pretty long ending there in our short quick demo sequence. But that brings me to rhythm. The rhythms are all quite similar. There are plenty to choose from. There must be about 100 rhythms to choose from, and they're all very electronica, very dancey. And there are about 9 different drum kits. They're all modern drum kits too. They're not just generic general MIDI type things. They're all interesting kits taken from around about the MC303, MC505 era that this keyboard comes from. But going through them, I did find them all a little bit samey. And of course the arpeggiator isn't all that flexible. So even though the EG-101 is very much a one-stop shop of music creation, and it certainly can do that, I think it's worth remembering that connecting sequences, maybe hooking it up to a computer, that kind of thing, will enable you to bring a lot more out of it. So now that I've said all that, that brings me to sound. So I'm just going to choose a few at random and let you hear them. I'll probably turn the arpeggiator off. Press tone, so we're choosing tones, and just choose them at random. Well, that was a bit of an interesting start. Very interesting. Purely a sound effect though, of course. Let's try something else completely random. 27. Press portamento. Okay, I'll be uploading a more complete sound demo of the EG-101. It really is quite diverse. But right now I want to move right along and show you the sampler effects. You can plug a microphone directly into this one, but when you do that, don't expect to be getting sound out of the speakers immediately. There's a bit of a weird trick that you've got to do. You've got to press the source, so the source for the sampler player, okay? And you'll notice that you can hold it down and it goes off as soon as you release your finger, so I can talk to it. Got the distortion on there, but anyway, you get the idea. What I have to do is press source and hold as well over here if I want to keep that sound coming. That was actually the ring modulator effect. Testing. And we're going to turn the sampler input volume down a little bit because that was way too intense. Testing, 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 testing. So I'm just going da 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 da. Sounds good with the rhythm. Okay, you get the idea. Got a filter control as well. It's just like a quick access to cutoff and resonance in one knob. It's a pretty good feature. The time function doesn't work on the input because what it does is change the speed of samples that are being played back. So using the microphone, I can't show you anything. It can't slow down time that's actually happening right at that time. It's impossible. Then we've got pitch, the exact same thing. You've got to play back a sample. Pretty weird little sample there, but you get the idea. Just zooming down to the sampler control section, or the sample player, what we get is the ability to store 4 samples in 4 banks, so 16 samples in total. I think you get something like 1 minute and 5 seconds or something of total sampling time at 32 kilohertz. So it's not a mammoth memory sampler, but it is enough to give you a good start. Moving slightly over to the left, you'll see that we've got a couple of modes here. RPS, can't remember what it stands for to be honest, and Arranger. Both of these are just methods of controlling the rhythms and their associated parts, the bass, the sound effects and all the other things. You'll also see that capability up here in Part Manipulator. We've got 3 lines of control. One is for the part effects, so if you want to put cutoff and resonance just on the bass line, for example, you switch on the bass line and then all these knobs will affect that one. So that's part effects. On the next line we've got part mute. So this is our entire rhythm with drums at the beginning, bass and all the other accompaniments. You can mix them in and out as you go. This is the one I like the most, the rhythm mute. Surprisingly, I find this one changes the character of your music more than muting individual parts of the accompaniment rhythm that you've chosen. By mixing out parts of the drums, say you just want to take out the snare drum, SD, you completely change the flavour of your style. Let's give that a bit of a go. Okay, so again, a pretty simple example, but I do love operating these keys on the fly. The dynamic effect it has on your music is really fun. Finally, we've got the arranger right down the bottom here. Sequencing is very limited on the EG-101. Like I said before, it is very much geared to live play, and these controls will certainly allow you to do that. There's nothing unfamiliar here, but I will say that the quality of each of the individual style components is really good. The fills are really long, they're varied. The original rhythm and variation rhythm are significantly different and they balance out quite nicely, and the intros and endings are also very long. You can also return from an ending back into any other part of the song. So plenty of flexibility there, and you have a chord memory, so if you want to play a whole sequence through, you can do that, stop what you're doing, go back and play the whole thing again and it'll sound just right. So that's fine, but it's not really what I would consider to be a full sequencer where I can go through the 150 bars in a song and position verses and choruses and fills wherever I like them. You can't do that. You've got to play it through live in one go, and you've got to get it right if you want to play it back perfectly. The exact same goes for the recorder section here. This will record a melody as you play it, but again, it's got to be correct. You can't play your song up to the 48th bar and then make a mistake and then start again from bar 49. Doesn't work like that. It's a one-off recording system. Taking a look at the back now, we've got our power in, power on button. This is the socket for headphones. Over here we've got stereo RCAs in and out. That's the microphone socket that I was demonstrating a sampler on just before. We've got a sustain pedal input like all good keyboards, and at the end MIDI in and out. Let's just take a moment to have a look at the profile of this keyboard too. On the side here you can see it's quite an unusual shape. It's very back heavy and a little bit difficult to get into a keyboard case. But the advantage is you've got a panel that's leaning up towards you and the speakers that are right in your face. Everything's very colourful and accessible, and overall I think it's a good design. Now I know many of you would have wanted to hear more sounds from the keyboard, but that's all I'm going to show you for the moment. I am going to upload a completely separate video showcasing as many good sounds as I can from this, and that'll be all recorded through a DAW, so you'll get nice good quality there. I'll also put up a link to a much older review that I did of this keyboard when I used to use it for kids entertainment way back about a decade ago. So thanks for liking, commenting or subscribing guys. I look forward to seeing you on the next Gear Facts video. That's the Roland EG-101 GrooveKeyboard.